You wake up in the morning to go to work. You go to work, start doing your job. You have an idea what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to work, mind your own business, don't talk too much, and you're just gonna work. And that's what you got to do. You're gonna work, mind your own business. Do what you do every single day that you go to work, and don't complain. And it's fascinating to me that people will just unnecessary just start bothering you for no reason. They see that you're working hard, you're minding your own business, and people will come up to you and be like, "Oh, hey Joshua, why don't you want to talk today? What's going on with you? Are you all right?" And all that kind of stuff. And it baffles me. Like people just don't care. At this time of our lives right now, the way society is these days, they don't care. They don't care. They see that you're not talking, nothing like that. And when they feel like oh, you bought you like there's something wrong with you. And I'm thinking to myself like, what is going on? You know? And if you don't talk to people at your job, if people see you as you don't talk at the job, you come to work, you do what you gotta do, and then you just go home. People don't like that. They feel like you go on your break, you take your 15, you go on your lunch, you do what you're supposed to do, right? And people are not like some people at your job are not satisfied. Your coworkers are not satisfied. People are not satisfied. Your managers not satisfied how you're moving. They want to find some issues against you to like, yo, hey, this person's doing something. That they're always trying to find a way to get you to be in trouble or fire you because they don't like that. They don't like people that are so quiet. They don't like people who are just shy, quiet, you know, and it's ridiculous. Like it makes you want to feel like, yo, why are people like this towards me? If I'm going to work every single day, minding my own business, doing what I'm supposed to do, and people are just bothering me. Like, well, bro, are you serious? Like, people just don't care anymore. They don't want to talk, communicate. I see at my job. I go to my work. I mind my own business. I don't talk that much. I focus on myself. What the hell? I focus on myself, and I just like mind my own business when I'm working. Mind my own business when I'm working. I stay to myself. I don't really talk that much. And people just come up to me like, "Hey, Joshua, what's going on? You all right? You so quiet today?" I'm like, "Look, there's so many things that are going on in the job that I don't like. You got people, over here getting promoted left and right for no reason. People that, who do certain things that, that they're supposed to be in trouble. They're supposed to, and you're supposed to see, the managers and, supervisors telling my coworkers like, yo, you can't be doing stuff like that. You can't be, sitting down on a ladder and just like not doing nothing, not helping customer service and just relaxing. And on the other hand, if I'm the one doing it, you the one gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be in trouble, and they're gonna be like, yo, they're gonna call you in the office. Hey, Josh, you can't do stuff like that. You can't, do stuff like that. You can't, it's not acceptable. It's Home Depot policy, and it's ridiculous. And it's ridiculous how people get away with it, and some people don't get away with it. And they see you doing it. You're the one who's gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get fired. And someone else doing it, they don't care. They don't care about other people. They see you. They see that, yo, this person's quiet. This person will talk a lot, and they're gonna come up to you like, yo, you can't do that. So it's always important. And this is the reasons why I stay true to myself, because I don't trust people these days. You can't trust people these days. If your coworkers that you work with, you cannot trust them because 10 times, because 99% out of 100 is gonna be that one. It's gonna be that one person who's gonna be true to you, who's gonna be loyal to you, who's gonna be nice to you, who's gonna try and help you out. They're gonna be, they're gonna come. You guys gonna come to work together. And you guys gonna be working, and you got the other people, other coworkers who are just gonna be come to work. They see your peers, they wanna talk around, they see you working, they don't wanna help you out, they don't wanna do nothing, they don't wanna do nothing for you. It's like they don't know you no more, they don't wanna talk to you, nothing like that. And it's just frustrating, like it's really frustrating that things have to be like this sometimes at the work. Things like this, you don't have to be cool. I guess for me personally, I don't have to be cool with anybody. You don't have to be cool with anybody at a job. It's a job. At the end of the day, someone say, yo, you go to your work, do your job, and just go home, and that's what you gotta do. So look, coworkers are your friends. Sometimes you gotta know that, like, your coworkers are not your friends. You can't trust people at your work, because the moment you trust someone, and the moment that the person feel like you being nice to them, you start laughing, giggling, all that kind of stuff. They don't like that. Right? They're gonna be laughing in your face, smiling, and think that everything's cool. But at the back of their mind, it's not cool. When you do something wrong, boom, right there. They don't know you no more. They're gonna find something against you. I remember a couple of days ago, I left my apron. And I always do that. I always leave my apron on one of our shopping carts, and I had some stuff that I was going to pack out on the shopping cart, and I put my apron on it, and I went my lunch. And as soon as I come back, one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, Joshua, smiling, giggling, talking about, hey, Joshua, So this my supervisor want to speak to me upstairs, and I went upstairs because my coworker said she had my apron. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I went upstairs looking for my apron. I'm trying to back out, trying to like do my stuff and get me get out. I'm trying to get out of here. I go upstairs, and she's like, "Hey Joshua, can I have a conversation with you for a second?" I'm like, whatever. What's up? So you can't leave your apron on the call like that. Someone's gonna take it, all that kind of stuff. And mind you, just like I've seen 2 or 3 associates who've done the same thing, who will leave their aprons on the floor and they'll go somewhere else, and they don't get in trouble for it. They don't get in trouble. They don't get nothing like that. Oh, people are gonna say, "Oh, how do you know they didn't get in trouble?" Because I know they didn't get in trouble. They're not gonna get in trouble. They didn't get in trouble for it. Nobody said nothing to them. But then when I did it, I'm the one that's gonna get in trouble. I'm really getting conversations like, "Hey, Joshua, you can't leave your Home Depot apron like that." Nobody's gonna take it. I'm living on the court. Nobody's gonna take it. And the way that I put it, nobody's gonna take it. And she took my apron and she put it inside the freaking in the box, in the cardboard box. A storage box that you move around. Put it inside the box, and I'm like, really? So the person that told me that, yo, I need to go speak with the associate, she knew where my apron was at. And I came back downstairs, and the fact that the supervisor was asking me like, yo, was telling me like, yo, Joshua, can you go ask the girl like, yo, where your apron is? I'm like, all right. So I go back downstairs. I'm asking like, yo, I didn't really want to have a conversation because at that point I was getting pissed off. Like, yo, I'm walking up and down trying to figure out where my apron is at. And then I go ask her. I asked her friend because she wasn't there when I went back downstairs. So I asked her friend like, "Yo, what's my apron at?" And she didn't know. So she asked her friend. And her friend was like, "Oh, it's right here." I'm saying like, you know where my stuff is at, and you're not gonna say nothing about it. You're not gonna say, "Oh, your apron is not right here." Nothing. No conversations. And that's the issue in this job these days. Like, my job right now, everything's changed up. Things have changed these days. It wasn't like back then. Everybody would just work hard. Everybody would just help each other out, trying to complete some stuff. Now things are different. Come to the job these days. Nobody want to work this day. Everybody's just walking around talking, be on your phones, giggling around, and that's it. It's only a few percent of people who are actually working hard. And then managers and supervisors are not saying nothing about it. Nothing. The only thing they care about these days, if you're trying to get a job these days, the good thing that you have to do is have a good attendance. If you go to work on time, that's what you got. That's the man. You got these house flies over here walking around, man. It's crazy. That's the only good thing that you have to do. Get a good attendance. Make sure you go to work on time, and that's what they care about. Apart from that, you can slag around work. Do the bare minimum of work, and they'll give you credit. They'll give you so much bravos. They'll give you so many awards and so many things, and you're gonna be happy. Oh my God! I got this and that, and I'm like, that's cool. For example, I have not got nothing like that in a while. The last time I got an award, I think I made a video about it. I think that was about a couple of weeks ago, and that was it. I've been there for 5 years, and you never get recognized. Never get recognized. They never feel like you deserve this and that. And I don't like forcing people to give me stuff. Like, yo, at least show a little bit of appreciation. Like, yo, this person, this and that. You happy about this person? Here you go. Thank you for this and that. Nothing like that. And how are people supposed to? How are people supposed to enjoy the work? Like, yo, feel like, yo, the job is doing well. The job it makes you feel like you want to come to the job every single time. Nothing like that makes me feel excited. Nothing like that. So it's ridiculous. But at the same time, you have to I have to adapt. I've changed my ways. I've changed how everything goes, and it's not fair. Even one of my coworkers was saying the same thing. It's not fair. It's not fair how things are going. Giving awards left and right to people who don't actually deserve it. But you over here, you at your job, you over here working hard, busting your ass left up and down. Doing what you're supposed to do. You go to work, do what you gotta do on time. You back out, all that kind of stuff. And you don't get nothing. You don't get no recognition. No, thank you for this and that. Nothing like that. And all you get is nothing. You get a T-shirt, and that's all you get. Other associates who don't do nothing much get awards, get Bravo calls, get all that. Retail awards, and then make them feel happy while you're over here like, all right, you know what, that's cool. And how is that supposed to make you feel happy? How is that supposed to boost your confidence? And yo, you know what, this job is doing well. I'm liking how things are going. Nothing like that. So what's the point? So this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't these days you can't trust nobody. The job these days is just different now. Everything's changed, and it's ridiculous how it is. So this like this, I really can't. This is why I don't really trust people at my job. Because one snake, all it takes is just one person to like ruin your mood. All it takes for one person to like lie in your name, and then they gonna say something like you didn't do it. And then all of a sudden, you get in trouble while other people I know get in trouble. And it just baffles me. But it really, really baffles me like how things like this change. And you have other people over there, other coworkers as well, who are trying to show off to the beach, be close to other people so they could move up the ladder. What for? What for? All for an extra dollar, all for an extra $2. I understand, you could be desperate or whatever, but mate, it's a job. It's a job. You're here to work. No, I like a freaking desperate machine. You're over here being desperate to, try and get close to the, supervisors, managers. I don't know. People are close. They're close to them. They're close to, the managers. So they try to be cool with them, and then they try to move up the ranks. And I'm like, so just because you trying to do that, you think you're above the law? You think you're above everybody? I'm sorry. You can't do that against me. I'm not a person that's going to tolerate stuff like that. Oh, no, 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 no. All right. If you can't do certain things, don't ask me to do it because I'm not. My boss. All right. If you're a boss, I'm gonna do. I don't care how mad you. I don't care how mad you are. You're an associate. I'm gonna treat you like an associate. If you're a boss, you're a supervisor. All right. You're a supervisor to me. You're my boss, man. I'm gonna do what I do. What I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna try and help you out and stuff like that. But if you're an associate and you're really talking to me like you're my supervisor or like a DH or whatever, that's a whole different issue. So baffles me how people, move these days. And look, I don't care no more. I really don't care no more. Like I said, I go to my job, do what I'm supposed to do. I talk less, and that's it. Now I go to my break, go to my lunch, mind my own business, and that's what I do. No more of that, past, 4 years, 3 years, all the kind of stuff that I was doing back then. Now, this year, things have changed. I said the job is moving, and the job don't really, things like this make the job not interesting for you. You really think to yourself like, yo, I'm gonna retire this job, when I'm 65, 66, 70 years old. No. Like I said, I understand if you're an older person. If you're an old person, let's go. It's a retirement job, For you, it's a retirement job, basically. So you just go over there, just, do the best you can, a couple of years, and then that's it. But if for me personally, right? I don't see myself being there for like, what, for 3 more years. So I've been there for like 5 years now. So I don't see myself being there for like for additional for like 10 years. Let's say for example, for you 10 years. I'm not gonna be there for like 10 years. Within 3 years, I should be out of there. I should be working somewhere else, or I should be working there probably like part time mostly. But as far as with this, no, it's not it. It's not a job for me that I'm gonna wake up every day and be like, yo, I'm excited to go to this job right here. I'm excited for the money. I'm excited for this and that. No, 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 no. I'm not feeling happy the way I'm being treated at this job. If your job is not treating you right, you always find a way out. Find a different job that's going to treat you right. Because look, you don't want to retire a job like this. I'm sure you guys don't want to retire a retail job like this. You 25 years old, you 20, 19, 18. Don't spend all your years working at retail jobs, bro. Because it's crazy. At some point, it's gonna get boring. At some point, someone's gonna piss you off. At some point, you're gonna have to figure some things out. At some point, you have to change your mind. Like, yo, do I really want to retire this job? I want to follow my dream job. Do I want to be here? At some point, you're gonna think about all that stuff. But for me personally, I don't trust people. I don't trust nobody at my job. I don't trust my coworkers that much. Even if I do trust them, I only trust like 1 or 2 people, and that's it. The rest of them, I don't trust them that much. Most of them are snakes. You can't trust them. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. But I don't trust them. I don't trust most of my coworkers that I work with. I don't trust the supervisors that I try, that I work with. Snakes, liars, backstabbers. Most of them, that's what they are. I like, they're nice to you and stuff like that. No, 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 no. So look, at the end of the day, don't trust people that much at the job that you work, especially in retail. In a retail job, mostly, don't trust people that much because you're going to get backstabbed. If it's like, you're working hard and you get so many awards and all that kind of stuff, don't like that. Because if they're giving you a lot of stuff, they're gonna be jealous. They're gonna be jealous of you. They're gonna be shy. They're gonna be like, yo, this person's over here working hard. Why am I not getting stuff like this? They're gonna be hating on you. They're gonna be jealous and all that kind of stuff. So look, don't trust people. Go do your work. Do what you gotta do. Go work. Get your money. Go to your lunch. Come back to work. clock out, and go home. And that's and at the end of the day, that's what you gotta do. Clock out, that's it. Avoid long conversations because that's why I try to avoid. If you don't have, if you're a person that go to work and try to talk a lot, that's a whole different issue. Because look, they're gonna be watching you. You think that people are not watching your job. They're watching you. They're watching every move that you make. They're watching people that you are close with. They see how you move around. So don't fall for that trap that you think that just because you're close to a manager, you're gonna get fired. But I've seen people get fired because they're close to managers. Just because you're close to managers doesn't mean like you're gonna be coaching and stuff like that. You're gonna get like a fast track promotion to like get promoted to like be a supervisor or whatever. You're not gonna get that. Just because you're close to this person doesn't mean like you're gonna get automatic raise. That's not gonna happen. So you gotta be careful who you trust. You gotta be careful who you associate yourself at the job because look, retail jobs, if you get fired right now, that's the end of the story. So look, that's what I gotta say. Don't trust people that much. Stay true to yourself. Go to your job. Do what you gotta do. Work. Go home and get your money. And that's what you gotta do. Don't trust people that much. I don't trust people that much. I don't. Nothing like that because they're all fake people. Fake people around me. Fake people. They laugh in your face. Fake management. Fake supervisors. They laugh. They just laugh in your face like everything's cool. You have got coworkers over here not doing nothing. How am I? They're not doing nothing, and you just over here working hard yourself. You and your friends are working hard, just relaxing on your phones, talking. Nothing. Nobody saying nothing to them. But if you do it, it's a whole lot of issue right there. If you do it, you get in trouble. If you do it, oh, this person's not working hard. Oh, come to the office. Let me talk to you. If you do it, you get in trouble. If you do it, you get fired. But if someone just do it, they got away with it. So look, they pick and choose. Welcome to a retail job, and yeah, that's what you gotta do. Go to work, do what you gotta do, go home safe, get your paycheck, and that's what you gotta do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.